What's up, y'all? Terrell, aka Unleash Your Image, back here again for Speak Your Truth, episode 2, with my guy Drew. We're here at Drutopia. Tell us how you doing today, man. What's up?
I'm doing good, man. I'm here. That's how I started out. Like, I'm still here, still doing my thing, still right where I'm supposed to be.
Right. So I want to start off with a little bit of background. Like, what sparked the idea of Drutopia for you?
Yeah, it wasn't something that happened like overnight, and it wasn't watch the B right there. But yeah, it wasn't something that just I snapped my fingers and it's just all it came to be. I was working at Costco. I was managing the cell phone kiosk. Had a decent job, like good money, but it was just something that was kind of eating away at me. It's something that was just grinding on me. It wasn't fulfilling me. It wasn't making me feel like I was making a impact or a difference, like in my life and in the life of my children and the people like around me. So I kind of had a soul searching moment to where I knew I had to do something different. And at that time, I didn't know like what that was and like what that was gonna be. Speaking of B wasn't around. But yeah, so it was one of those times to where life was going the normal route, rat race, paycheck to paycheck, and it just wasn't me, and I couldn't accept it anymore. So I kind of had to figure out, okay, what was next for me. I thought my life was always going to involve sports in some manner, like basketball or football. Like I thought that was going to be it for me, make a career out of either one of those, but that's not how it turned out. So I had to kind of reflect and go inward, like I said, and remember and uncover like what made me tick, like what like made me, because going through life sometimes you forget, you lose sight of those things. And through definitely taking some time, some prayer, and some pain and some patience, I realized that what I've always loved since I was a child was plants, like animals, and rocks and minerals. And I started there. It's like, okay, what do I love? And then, okay, now with like these are the things that I love and I appreciate. How do I make it something to where it can be beneficial, that it can be profitable, like if you will, so if I can do it, like turn it into like a livelihood. And so one thing led to another. Put pen to paper, came up with an idea that kind of sparked the initial like vision on like what Drutopia could be.
Right. And I really love that, because I've done some graphics with you, and I've worked here, or I've been helping out around. And one of the first graphics, one of the things that stood out to me was to never stop growing.
Absolutely.
And that definitely is what it kind of sounds like from the background, without me even having to say too much
right.
in regards to that. So what does never stop growing mean for you? Because for me, it's just that day to day, that in and out, never giving up, always looking to get better every day. So let me know a little bit about what it means for you.
Yeah, never stop growing. I mean, it's everything to me. You know what I'm saying? If I had to try to come up with different like mantras or try to put like all this into words, like that would be one of them, like for sure. Because like growth is always apparent. It's like obviously like a necessary like facet of life, but like we're surrounded by growth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's like in nature, whether it's in business, whether no matter what it is, we're surrounded by some sort of like growth, some sort of movement, some sort of progression. And how that translated like to me is like, okay, no matter what that I'm facing, no matter what's going on like around me, I gotta stay true to myself to always keep on learning, keep on like consuming and absorbing what I can to continue to be like the best version of myself that's possible. And I try to take that and translate it into everything that I do here, because in the right set of circumstances, sometimes even the wrong set of circumstances, things are always growing, you know. So that's it for me, kind of like in a nutshell. Like growth is all around us, and like when you give yourself to growth, even though it can be like uncomfortable at times, like the different like stages, like there's a peace that comes with that, like knowing that, okay, like I'm growing, we're always growing, like we're always learning. So maybe I should we take it easy on ourselves. Sometimes we could be like our own like worst critics when it comes to like our progress or like where we're at in life. But when we like stop and realize, okay, growth is always going to be there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As long as we're making progress and taking like steps forward, then we're going to be all right.
Okay. Yeah, and I love that, and you know, that's really inspirational for me, you know, because I look to you as, you know, sort of a mentor in a sense, to where we talk each other through a lot of different processes, and you know, you've helped me, you know, grow into myself even more, you know, and just remember like, okay, take it easy on yourself and all that other type of stuff. So it's definitely, you know, refreshing to have that, you know, and you being that not only for me, but you know, for other people. So even with that, I would like to know like what inspires you as a person.
True. I appreciate that, and you being here, learning about like what I'm doing here, like getting to know me more, like it means a lot. Like being like received, like it means a lot, like for sure. Shoot, what inspires me, like as a person, I mean, my sons like inspire me, like they push me. My mother, like my mama, like that, my muse, like that inspires me. Like she's everything to me. This is all like in her honor, and obviously God, like all that, like all those three things, like working like in like kind of like collaboration like with each other is kind of like what pushes me like to be like to challenge myself and to keep on, and to like just like I said, to keep on like growing, you know what I'm saying, and not get too caught up in like the negativities of life or the different adversities, because I know like with those three things like in my mind, like there's nothing that's gonna be too bad or too negative or too much that I can't handle.
Right.
You know? So yeah, it's family over everything, man. So yeah, my sons, my mama, and God absolutely are my biggest inspirations and my biggest the driving forces in my life.
Yeah, and that's really like a beautiful thing, you know, especially in the age of media and all this other type of stuff, like still having like that home base, that support system to be like, okay, this is my foundation, like this is, you know, my support, and you know, it continues to inspire you, and you know, hopefully that sparks something in other people, because I feel like that home, that sense of, you know, purpose with self and higher, you know, goes a long way.
Absolutely.
You know, and with that, you know, I know it's been like a crazy year for like you, everybody, the whole world. Like 2020 has just been insane.
Yeah.
And you know, I know you still got the GoFundMe going. So tell us a little bit more about that, the goal and vision behind that, because I know you had a lot of donations and a lot of, you know, positive feedback with that, and just let us know some more about that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the GoFundMe has been great. The support has been like outstanding. I appreciate everybody who's been there like from the beginning, who's got to know me during like this time of challenges and adversity, like you said, that everybody is facing. You know, it's definitely not like exclusive like to me. But as far as the GoFundMe itself, it started as being something that could help me like with the ongoing legal dispute that I'm in, and then it kind of turned to where it was something that would help with a settlement if there's something like that was reached. So like that situation has been like very, very volatile, like if you will. Like it's as much as I would have liked it to be like a straight line to like resolution, it hasn't been, but that's all right. I mean, there's no guarantees, you know what I'm saying? There's no necessarily any entitlement to like some sort of like happy ending, like when you're faced with like extraordinary like circumstances. I'm glad and I'm proud to say that I haven't lost myself in that. There have been like some tough times, I mean, especially like the last couple of weeks with everything like that's transpired. But I mean, no matter how like the legal situation like turns out, I mean, this won't be stopped, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's here or elsewhere, like this continues, like the vision like continues, and it's so much bigger than me now, and I'm so thankful for that. And again, like back to the constant support, not just monetarily, but the people who have come out and showed love, like the people who I've met, people who I haven't even met but just like reached out like through like social media, just to let me know that they're standing with me like from afar. It's meant the world for sure. I mean, there's been people who I've just met over the last like month who are now like family to me. You know what I'm saying? So that goes a long way with everything that's going on. Man.
Yeah, and it's really great to hear. You know, for me, you know, in the aspect of, you know, being a part of the community, you seeing that you get that community support, and also you just not, you know, giving up. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of stuff, especially like with some of what you have going on, it becomes difficult. Like, it's a lot to manage, and it really drains your energy, and it really takes a lot of your energy. So it's really like uplifting just to see you still in good spirits, still in high spirits, and still able to produce, create, and, you know, maintain your vision, and even expand your vision to where it's like, okay, whatever happens, I'm gonna keep going.
Right, absolutely.
You know, so that's definitely beautiful. What are some tips you might have for, like, you know, new growers, people who haven't been here, or, you know, are looking to come here and buy their first plants? Like, what you got for them?
Take thinking out of it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like worry like when it comes like time to like get a new plant for the first time, become a plant parent, if you will, for the first time. Oh, I don't want to kill it. I don't want to mess it up. But with this, it's life. You gotta dive in, understand the basics. Like when it comes to growing things, like literally to understand the basic when it comes to growing things. You know what I'm saying? What they need and how they thrive, and understand like keep it simple. You know, whether it's the lighting, whether it's like the water, like the soil, like beyond that, like take yourself like out of the equation. I don't consider myself personally like a gardener or anything like that, like if you will. Like I'm a caretaker. You know, like I'm in a position like to take care of these things. I'm not sitting here trying to manipulate or try to like do too much. You know, I'm a steward. I'm here to just like facilitate like growth. Not like growing because I want it to grow, but growing because that's these plants, like these living like organisms, they want to grow like in optimal like conditions. So like we do things, and we inherently as humans because we like them, because we want to try to fulfill like that desire. But like when it comes to living things and our interaction with living things, we gotta kind of put ourselves like to the side and realize, okay, the priority is this other like living thing that has different needs, you know what I'm saying, like different wants than we do. So understand like what those are, like from like plant to plant. Keep it simple, and like don't be afraid like to dive in. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and just experiment, try it. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's definitely a plant like for everybody, for sure.
For sure. And, you know, I'm glad I met you, and I'm glad, you know, you have everything you have, from like the herbs to the vegetables to the fruit and everything like that. It's definitely opened my mind up and me up to be like, okay, you can, you know, have your own little mini garden, whether it's on a patio, you know, if you actually have a home in a garden. Like I try to even tell all my friends and, you know, whomever else, because it definitely gives like a different feel, like a different sense of purpose, and you realize, you know, how deep into earth you can really get, you know, with your hands, you know, and just, you know, putting the phone down for a minute, and, you know, actually picking up a pot, or, you know, watering some plants and all that other type of stuff. And even with the crystals and stuff like that, like the healing properties that they have, and just the beauty in every piece, you know, they've been like unprecedented in my life, you know, so far. And I know many other people could probably attest to the same thing.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Anything else you want to, you know, let the viewers know, let the followers know?
I'm very thankful. Like I'm very grateful. I mean, every day there's new support. Every day there's something else or somebody else that comes along and uplifts my spirit, and like gives me like the necessary fuel, like to keep doing like what I'm doing. Like this was always this idea of Drutopia was always going to be like an oasis, like where all life like could flourish, like, and then also it can like draw in like that human like element like naturally, and like it's done that, and like against all odds it's done that. And so like I'm very thankful for that. A lot has transpired since we last like sat down and talked.
Sure.
There's been a lot of lessons, a lot of different things that I had to like kind of like realize like in myself like about the situation. that it was less about like what I did or didn't do, and it was more about somebody else's like capacity for negativity or evil, like if you will. So with that being said, I'm in a position now, like in the legal battle, to where I have to decide if I'm gonna go all in with this court case, or potentially start looking for another home for Drutopia. And the reason for that is, now that all like the information has been presented, like it all like paints like a story of like the truth. The truth is very clear and very evident. But I don't remember like what movie it was where they said it's not about like what's true, it's like what you can prove in court. So shaking hand to hand like agreements, like word of mouth, like those things are very difficult like to prove like in court. And I feel kind of played in that respect, but at the same time, it's just how things have transpired, to where all the different kind of provable aspects that would enable like everything to get released to me in the way that was originally envisioned, like by me, is it's the road to that is not straightforward. So I'm determining whether to continue to use like those resources to fight that fight, or look at other opportunities, other like possibilities for Drutopia, and some have definitely presented themselves, and I'm weighing those options. But I would like to call on you guys, like the community, as far as with what you guys know and how you guys feel about like what I'm doing here. Your input would be like appreciated. Even if this were to, and it will, turn into a long, like drawn out, like legal fight, like is it worth that, like in the grand scheme of things? Or is like what I've started here, what you guys have come and supported here, now bigger than just this location, to where it's an idea, you know, it's an entity that can definitely still grow and flourish, and like everything that I'm surrounded by, like it comes with me wherever I go, and it can begin again, like for sure. So it's something that it's a question that I have to answer here, like in the very near future, and it's a question that I want to pose to you guys, to where at this point, I mean, what do we do? You know, I mean, relocate and continue to grow, continue to thrive, or stay here, like in this place that is, if you will, kind of like under attack, like kind of like a threat, like to it, you know. And it's a hard question, because it's not just my business, like it's my home as well. So wherever I would go to next, you know, it's not like I could just pick all this up in a day, right, and relocate, you know. So that's what's pressing right now. That's what's at the forefront of my mind, and decisions like will be made like here in the next like several hours that kind of like determine like my like immediate and like and long-term future here, for sure.
Yeah, I heard it here first. You know, we would love your support. We would love you to comment, share, like, just truly let us know, because you know this is a true process. This is real life, and you know we know it's a lot going on in the world right now. But you know, if you're a part of it, you would love to be a part of it. We would love you to be a part of it. We would definitely love your continued, you know, support and feedback. So thank you all again for tuning in. Episode 2 of Speak Your Truth, and we just want to remind you to never stop growing.
Absolutely.